All right, welcome back to the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call. This is our GMC tweet of the night, and this is from Sportsnet. And this is about Erik Karlsson, who spoke to the media today. By the way, he loves Pittsburgh. Chris, I'm sure you saw that quote. He also said, I was very excited about the opportunity to go somewhere I could be on a team where we're contending. Erik Karlsson shares his thoughts on becoming a member of the Pittsburgh Penguins. Do you think they'll be a contender this year? I'm optimistic, and look, you might rip on me here again, but I'm optimistic about the Penguins. Maybe not being Stanley Cup contenders, but I think this is their only move that they can make is you got about a 3-year window to try to win. So they got to do everything possible to win in this window. Obviously, they didn't trade these guys off and get younger, so you just got to go out and try to get the best guys you can.
I mean, I give the trade an A+. They offloaded the 2 onerous contracts on their ledger without having to buy either one of them out. They got easily the best difference maker who was going to be available, a 3-time and including now the reigning Norris Trophy winner. I think Erik Karlsson absolutely turns them back into a team that should expect to make the playoffs. It's still a very difficult division, and it's absolutely a team with enough firepower. I mean, he really is that good and that much of an offensive catalyst where they can win a round in the playoffs. And in my opinion, Richie, if you're a team that can win a round in the NHL Stanley Cup playoffs, like people can look at you and actually have that as a realistic conception, then you are a Stanley Cup contender. Because once you get into the second round, I think it's pretty much a crapshoot in those playoffs. So I think the Penguins, I give Kyle Dubas enormous marks for this trade. I think this is a huge help to the team. And more than anything, really, a franchise that's been defined for almost the entirety of its existence, by having star talent that's offensive in nature. They have some juice again. This was a kind of a shock to the system, a little lightning bolt. It's exactly what they needed, and it's extremely on brand for them.
Yeah, the one big question mark, obviously, is goaltending. But, hey, it could be a home run, too, if Jari stays healthy and he gets his mind straight. All right, let's go out to John in Hampton. How you doing, John?
Hey, I'm doing fine. Thanks for taking my call. I have one comment, one question on baseball. Love baseball. I still have the Pirates on every night. But fundamental baseball just drives me crazy when they don't execute. In what world, when you have an opposing runner on third base, does a second baseman make a catch going backwards in right field when you have a right fielder coming in who has a gun for an arm? That's just crazy. And then the question is, do the umpires ever get graded on a nightly basis? Because this series, we're looking at the StatCast or whatever that's called, there have been so many pitches outside the zone in critical times. Again, drives you crazy.
All right, John, I appreciate your call, and thanks for calling. I think fundamentals have been lost in all of Major League Baseball with every team at some point. I don't think it's just a Pirates problem. As for the umpires getting graded, I know they get graded often. I don't know if they get graded after every game or if it's after every series. But these guys do get graded. Do you have more intel on that?
I'm pretty sure they get graded after every game. I mean, if you think the umps in this series have been bad, and they have been a little tough at times, Angel Hernandez, I think, has been missing calls left and right as a home plate ump lately. Like, he's been persona non grata with baseball fans for years, and he's doing an even worse job than ever. So, yes, they do get graded. And as for the fundamentals, yeah, I understand why it drives people crazy when those little things, and what John mentioned, there is a kind of a little subtlety of baseball that you're supposed to know if you've played the sport. I understand why people get frustrated with that. Something interesting to note, though, the league's collective batting average has gone up 5 points this year from 243 to 248, and errors are way, way down, which some people think is a way to try to goose artificially the amount of offense that's actually going on in the sport, and not assigning errors when they should be. So just a couple things to chew on for people that kind of are harping on the fundamental baseball. It might be true. What you're seeing might be considerably worse, but baseball's not showing it statistically.
Yeah, I mean, I think a good resolution here is just to end in ties, and then it's over. Ninth inning, if you tie, you tie. And then in playoff baseball.
That did go so well for Bud Selig at the All-Star game many years ago. So
yeah. All right. Well, we got to take a break. Back with more of your phone calls coming up next. Stay right there.